Hi guys, welcome to or welcome back to Journey Teachers. So today we have Professor Kailash Sir with us, and he's the professor in Media Department at Christ University, and he's going to share his experiences and his tips on how to crack the interview while applying to Christ. So welcome to you, sir.
Thank you
on
so
Journey
much for
Teachers.
having me.
Thank you. So let's begin with the very first question. As you take interviews of students from Media Department, so what do you exactly look for in a student?
I think one very important thing that we normally look for is how interested, there's a kind of passion which is there for the subject itself, which shows through pretty much through the interview. So, and this passion need not be for a very specific aspect of media itself, but I think a general curiosity and passion for knowledge is something which we definitely look for. That is something which we it's a very important thing for the course itself.
Right, passion and the learning abilities of a student are definitely, some of the factors which are assessed during the interview. Okay, so what kind of interviewer are you, if I may ask, and based on what criteria do you often select the students?
So, like I said, I do ask. I'm not the one who might ask a lot of question based on subject matter itself, but I do ask questions about things they might be interested in, because I want to know how deeply you are ready to go into something which you are interested in. So after the general set of questions which normally you get in every interview, I do ask about what their interests are. So if you say something to do with sports, or you say something to do with painting, I would not want to know how much you have done on your own to know about it and what you're doing for it, because especially in the age of social media, people know the words, people know the vocabulary about things which are happening, but I think the deep dive knowledge is what sets a student apart, and that's, I think, something which we look for.
Definitely. So you are looking for the unique traits which the student definitely has, and
Right. I mean, the uniqueness need not be in aspects of just academic interest. Even if you are someone who is into something, but you're not just doing it for doing its sake, right? You know there is something more to it. I think that's what we are looking for.
okay, definitely. So do you often open the application side by side as well during the interview, and what major areas do you often select to ask counter questions?
So yes, initially, as soon as we are given the candidate, we do also have access to the application, because we also will need to know what the kind of academic background the student comes from. That is the information which is normally given to us from the admission department itself. So, but that also gives us an idea as to the kind of consistent academic work a student does. So that kind of consistency is also important, and the kind of questions normally will be beginning from the answers what a candidate gives. So for example, we might ask you about the kind of subjects you studied in your school or in your 11th and 12th, and you might say in that process that you're interested in something, and I think we can take the conversation from there. So it is a very organic, the interview process is a very organic process. It is extremely difficult for even me to just pin down 7 questions you're going to get. That won't happen, because it will be a panel sometimes, so there might be 2 or maybe even 3 people, so the interaction between the panel also guides how the interview goes. So it's a very it's a fun process in general.
Yeah, definitely. So interviews are always exciting conversations rather than the interviewer having the list and fixed
Right.
set of questions to ask.
Yeah.
So a lot depends upon what you answered in the previous question. Okay. So to what extent do the marks card of boards and the scores of entrance tests matter, or the extracurriculars as well?
Right. See, I will not say that marks don't matter at all. I cannot make that statement. They do, but please note that what we are looking for is, again, like I said, consistency, right? It need not always be like 99, 99, 99 everywhere, but if you have a consistently good grade, or even if you show a very clean progression, that is something which we take notice of, to know that okay, you are putting in certain kind of effort and it's working. With extracurriculars, again, we do look for extracurriculars because here in Christ University itself, there's a fine balance between academics and extracurriculars, and I'm pretty sure we have an example here who knows how it goes. So we would like to know what you have done. We would like to know how much you have involved yourself. We would like to know you as a person as a whole. You know, we are not gonna bring you down to a set of marks. We want to know you as a complete person.
Right. Whatever, just beyond marks, what have you done beyond the academic route, and what skills are you equipped with? If you are able to demonstrate that in the process, you will, be distinct for sure. Okay, so if we talk specifically about media department as well, so what is the frequency of students applying and actually getting in?
The percentage ratio, I think faculty won't know, because the admission department will know how many total applications came and how many people got selected. So I would not be able to pinpoint a number, but I think, like you said, if we have a well-rounded student who, who's consistent in academics, who participates in extracurriculars, and I think who has a general curiosity of knowledge and current affairs, if these all criteria are there and they're able to communicate it, I think that gives a fair chance for selection. So, but the numbers, I'm not knowledgeable about that as to the number of the students getting in. Yeah.
Right. So will it be very safe to say that it's not, entirely impossible to get into Christ, because many students have their dream college as Christ?
Yeah, I think it is definitely a possibility. And the thing is, if there are people who might be in 10th or 11th who are planning to apply to Christ, I think you also have time to slowly build this up and then work on things, and I think there is enough information out there which also gives you an idea as to what to prepare for. And I think that's the strength students these days have, because they know what happens in an interview, they're confident, they have access to videos such as this we are making. So I think it gives them time to prepare. So,
right. Yeah, definitely there's an overload of information, and you have Christ University's website as well, where you get all the information regarding the course structure and what the university has to offer you, so you can take advantage of that. Okay, so you want to talk about some of the activities related to the media department as well?
Okay, so the in general, once you join the media department, there are so many events which are constantly happening. Few of the really big ones that we have the Media Meet, which is the flagship event of the media department. You have Pratibimb, which is a film festival that we have. You have so many guest lectures which keep happening. You have competitions across the university which are being done, and we faculty also constantly engage with research activities and research seminars, which make it a very vibrant space in general.
Right, definitely. So there are a lot of opportunities, even when you are in a specific department, or even overall. You have different societies, clubs to join and take part in the extracurricular activities and related to your interests, and discover more about yourself. Okay, so if we talk about micro presentation as well, what would be your tips on that, and what are some of the common topics, if you can just name some examples?
Again, a micro presentation, common topics, they keep changing every year. We do sit as a panel and figure out what kind of things we would want to see. But I think one thing which students in general need to remember is, what we are looking for is not always subject knowledge. We are looking at communication skills. We are looking at how will you structure your arguments. We look at what you can offer and please think of it as a space where you can display your strengths. Do not think of micro presentation as another exam. Think of it as your bio page where you can showcase who you really are. I think if students think of the micro presentation like that, I think we would also get to know the student very well.
Yeah. Through micro presentation, basically the purpose is how you represent yourself and how you talk about a particular topic, inculcating all of the knowledge and all of the skills you actually have. Okay, so what are some of the do's and don'ts students actually need to take care of while during an interview?
One thing definitely I will tell all students, please stay calm, because remember, we are human, you're human. It's just a conversation that is happening. Yes, the stakes might be high for some of you who also feel like you really want to get into this university, and I completely understand that. But at the end of the day, it is a conversation, so stay calm. It's okay. Second, be clear in your communication. That is, clarity in communication is a huge thing, especially if you're having interviews online. I think that would be something which is of priority. I think everything else will fall into place if you're calm and if you're communicating clearly. So those are the two tips I would give everyone. Yeah.
Right, and what are some of the things that the students should actually not do? Maybe related to particularly lying in an answer or maybe following the dress code.
So yeah, I mean, I think the good thing is students these days are very aware of dress code and things like that. They are very aware of occasions, where you need to be formal, where you can be semi-formal, and then things like that. And then interview space is similar to that. And I think each student can also decide, what the dress code can be. With the aspect of what you should not do, I think one thing you might not want to do is I'm pretty sure none of the students lie in interviews, because I don't think that's a good thing to do anyway. That's not specific to this interview or anything. In general, I don't think that's a good thing to do. But with the aspect of the interviews itself, I think it would be a wise choice to have a quick run through of things, so that when a question is asked, one thing I really don't want students to do is, you need not answer immediately, right? Take a couple of breaths, tell the interviewers, hey, can I get a couple of seconds? Calm yourself down, arrange your thoughts and then speak. That shows us also that you are ready to face questions. Please don't think that if I ask a question and you answer within the next second, you will get brownie points, because if what you're talking doesn't make sense, the speed is irrelevant. So yeah, take a couple of breaths, articulate your thoughts and then speak.
Definitely, just follow a set of structure of arrange your thoughts in such a way that you are able to present it to the interviewer, and it's not mandatory that you have to just be on the spot. You have to just tell the answer. You can just get a break of a minute or so, and then you can obviously say the answer. Okay, so lastly, what would be your overall tips for the students to actually crack you as an interviewer or crack Christ University?
I think if I had to summarize this, one, speak up, because in this interview setting we are having a conversation, so think of it as a conversation. Articulate your thoughts, stay calm, and I think we have a huge pool of students who are extremely talented, and I think the conversation we will have in the interview will be the first of many in our journey as academicians and as students. So yeah.
Absolutely, and it's a mutual learning opportunity, I believe, not just for the student but for the faculty as well. Okay, right. So thank you so much, sir, for coming here. It was very insightful to have listened to your tips for the students, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.